Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Hishain Ali. Let's have a look at the headlines for tonight.
Minister of Public Defence says that many videos of killer of Ganemula Sanjeeva posted on social media are AI creations. The President says that the government's aim is to make Sri Lanka an equal competitor among global states. Railway services between Colombo and Batticaloa have returned to normalcy. The on-max GT suspect arrested in Dubai was remanded. The budget has allocated more funds for urban and rural development. Many parties commend the government. Israel Army is ready to launch an intensive operation in the West Bank.
On to those and other stories in detail, and your top story for tonight is President Anura Kumara Dissanayake stated that the government aspires to elevate Sri Lanka, currently not a competitor in the field of innovation, to a comparable status with other countries, emphasizing that digitalization will play a crucial role in achieving this objective.
The President highlighted the necessity of implementing significant transformations within the innovation sector to meet these goals. He made these remarks participating at the Innovation Island Summit 2025 held yesterday. The President further said that various stages of human civilization have been identified, with each new chapter being shaped by innovation. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake said that hosting the Innovation Island Summit 2025 in Sri Lanka signifies the growing interest and aspirations of new entrepreneurship in the country regarding innovation. He further said that various stages of human civilization have been identified, with each new chapter being shaped by innovation. He underscored the importance of innovation in advancing human civilization to new stages, stating that while people's needs remain constant and the means of fulfilling those needs have changed. The President explained that the innovation drives the creation of new markets by addressing emerging needs, and that new markets emerge only when the method of fulfilling needs change. He also noted that countries that have achieved success globally have done so by recognizing and capitalizing on these changes, with neighboring India serving as a prime example. The President expressed confidence in the substantial opportunities for innovation in our country, stating that Sri Lanka aims to pave a new path in digitalization by the year 2030. President Dissanayake also mentioned that the current budget prioritizes innovation and emphasized the importance of utilizing new discoveries for commercialization. The President projected export revenue of $19 billion for this year, emphasizing the need for a significant transformation in the innovation sector to realize this revenue target. He stated that creating an environment for the benefit of innovation to reach the entire population is a government responsibility, reiterating that the government's numerous goals are intertwined with innovation. The President also highlighted the challenges Sri Lanka face in the global economic competition, along with the necessity for digitalization and innovation. He invited international partners and investors to come to Sri Lanka and requested that new investments be directed towards the country. He further mentioned that a positive environment for innovation and business have already been established in the country, and that we possess skilled workforce to support this initiative.
A few observations in that context. First, Sri Lanka is on the cusp of potentially a very big change. People's aspirations and expectations have found a new expression in the two elections held in Sri Lanka last year. The COVID pandemic and the economic crisis in Sri Lanka has underlined the need for a transformation that many Lankans have yearned for generations to happen. Second, blue, green, and chrome as the three themes of the conference are most suited for Sri Lanka in its quest for transformation. Blue is an obvious choice, given that Sri Lanka is an island surrounded by waters with huge potential. Green too is appropriate, as Sri Lanka, as an island country, is particularly vulnerable to climate change. It is also blessed with rich potential for green energy, including for exports to other countries and in the larger Asian region. And chrome because digitization has become the new currency for low middle income countries to transcend their entrenched inefficiencies and to outgrow them, to position themselves to take full advantage of the many new opportunities and an emerging geotechnological age. My third point, and that is the last one, like any other country, Sri Lanka cannot afford to stay in isolation. Global connectivity and interdependence remain a norm even in this new era of re-globalization. Whether it is markets abroad or critical imports or tourism, investment and technology, Sri Lanka needs to remain engaged with the rest of the world. This requires a better understanding of global trends and opportunities. I'm sure that this conference would help build a better appreciation of the need for global engagement as a means for fulfilling the aspirations of Sri Lankans for change, growth, and prosperity. As far as we in India are concerned, we are engaged with Sri Lanka on the basis of our neighborhood first policy and Sagar approach. Our relations are based on principles of solidarity, of sharing whatever best we can offer to each other, and being a partner of first as well as the last resort. Today, our relations are better than ever before and spread across a wide range of domains. Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has described connectivity, energy, and digitization as the three principal pillars of our partnership. We are also engaged in other areas such as health, education, ports and airports, agriculture, fisheries, in addition to the security and defense cooperation that is very important.
And in the meantime, Minister Ananda Vijaypala says that there is no threat posed to the national security, but certain groups are trying to create an unnecessary fear in this regard. And he observed in Parliament today that investigations regarding the incident which occurred at the Alatkade court complex and Middenia area are being carried out in a proper manner. The minister also revealed that there is no such threat to the security of the judges. Minister Ananda Vijaypala said that the person suspected in the firing has been taken into custody before 8 hours. The dedication of the Sri Lanka police and their skills has to be appreciated in this context. Certain crimes which occurred during the recent past in the country have been carried out in such a manner that no arrest could be made. Everyone knows that all these activities are committed with political connections. The government has given complete freedom to the police officers in order to go ahead with the investigation so that they are being conducted strongly, efficiently and speedily. He added that the assassins of Arun Priyantha Vidanagambike and his children, which occurred previously, ended up with the arrest of 3 assassins. The police constable 82493 IL Janaka Prasad has been taken into custody a little while ago. Throughout the history, in the name of national security, a fear psychosis was created in the society. This incident has not been the first case of a firing inside a court complex, but the government is not ready to belittle this incident by stating so. During the past 2-3 decades, underworld activities have been created with political patronage. Political shelter had been awarded to various underworld groups. The government is well aware of the underworld activities carried out during previous regimes. The minister pointed out that those who are vociferous in the position against such incidents never intervened in these matters during their tenure of governance. Furthermore, no justice have been awarded to the victims of those crimes. Under the present government, steps are being taken to provide justice to the victims, and no parliamentarian or any minister has any kind of links with the underworld. The government has given the police complete freedom to carry out their duty against members of the underworld. As far as the security of judges is concerned, security is being provided in accordance with the circulars issued so far.
Public Defence Minister Ananda Vijaypala says that the video footage of the arresting of the suspect of Ganemulla Sanjeeva's killing, which are posted on social media, are creations of artificial intelligence. He made these remarks in response to a question raised in Parliament today. Parliamentarian Chamara Sampath says that video footage depicting the mutual chat taking place between the suspect and the STF officials are being shared on social media. This has caused a controversy in society on the Sri Lanka police and the suspect. Parliamentarian Chamara Sampath Disanayake criticized the manner in which media related the incident, and it was handled where inappropriate pictures of the gunman had been shared online. He called on the Minister of Public Security to conduct a probe into the matter. Minister Anand Vijaypala said that some of the pictures regarding the shooting incident have been manipulated using AI. He requested the MPs to fact-check before presenting such matters in Parliament. Police media spokesman SSP Buddhika Manatunga said that the video has been created by AI technology. No police officer has behaved in this manner, as the video footage shows. Such videos are created to misguide the investigations.
And in the meantime, Minister Anil Jayantha Fernando states that there will be no reduction in vehicle import taxes. According to him, interest rates and other payments mentioned in the Gazette notification will be followed further. Minister Anil Jayantha Fernando said that there can be market fluctuations in importing and buying vehicles, and the government has not taken any decision in this regard. At the same time, no decision has been taken to reduce import taxes and the prices also. These exemptions have been carried out under the normal market conditions but not under any other limitations. He added that the importers have the freedom in this regard, and the central bank is also attentive in this matter as to how much reserves are being used in imports. In the context of vehicle imports, the decision to release reserves will be done by the central bank as well as guiding the process of vehicle imports, according to the manner in which letters of credit are being opened and the functioning of the market as well as the mode of applications. Forecasts can be made accordingly. Whether it has affected the fluctuations of the market cannot be determined. Apart from the tax interest rates mentioned in the Gazette notification, nothing has been added or no decision has so far been taken to reduce taxes.
Today is the third day of the 2025 budget's second reading. Ruling and opposition party members expressed their views in the House today. MP Rohita Begunawardena questioned the government how a sum of 325 billion rupees will be earned to recruit government servants. Minister Vasantha Samarasinha said that the amount may become higher than that amount since another 30,000 will be added to the public service. MP Rohita Begunawardena says that during the previous regime there was a movement called Vyatmaga. Today it is no more and the members are scattered everywhere. Former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa implemented organic fertilizer policy, replacing chemical fertilizer. At last, the government elected for 5 years had to go home empty-handed, even losing their homes. MP Suranga Ratnayaka said that the government expects to spend an additional 576 billion rupees. Then the government will have to increase taxes to burden the innocent citizens of the country. He questioned the government as to how it will spend such a huge amount of money without imposing taxes. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the IMF agreement may be harmful and a suppressive one. However, if the country deviates from it, it will have to go for another debt restructuring. Therefore, as the opposition, they are willing to support the positive and people-friendly proposals in this budget.
අවංකව මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා මේක සාර්ථක වේවා. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි මෙහි තිබෙන සාධනීය ජනතාවාදී ජනහිතකාමී ප්‍රතිපාදන ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නට අපිට සහයෝගය දෙන්න. ඒ කරුණාකර විමර්ශකතු මුදල් ලබා දෙනකොට මේ ස්පිරිට් එකෙන් අපි කටයුතු කරමු.
Minister Namal Karunaratne said that the present government did not enter into the agreement with the IMF. The previous government had been stranded in the IMF structure. In this backdrop, the present government had to find people-friendly solutions for this matter. The opposition parliamentarians who made a huge hue and cry are the creators of this trap.
And on to more details on the budget. In today's budget 2025 feature, attention has been paid to drinking water, housing and urban development, rural development and youth and sports. Grants to the tune of 100 billion rupees have been allocated by the 2025 budget under the theme, assisting the expectation of leading a comfortable and better life. Out of this amount, 179.3 billion rupees have been set aside for capital expenditure, and the amount allocated for recurrent expenditure is 11 billion rupees. Steps have been taken to allocate 108.7 billion rupees for drinking water. At the same time, another amount of 39.2 billion rupees have been set aside for housing. An amount of 18 billion rupees has been earmarked for the urban restructuration program in order to reallocate settlements with less facilities in Colombo and suburban areas. Another amount of 7 billion rupees have been allocated to provide houses at a bearable cost for people with less income in Colombo. The amount set aside for the restoration of housing projects stands at 0.25 billion rupees. Steps have also been taken to allocate 25.1 billion rupees for rural development under the 2025 budget. An amount of 11.5 billion rupees have been set aside for youth affairs and sports, while 0.88 billion rupees have been allocated for the construction of sport complexes in northwestern, Uva, north and eastern provinces. At the same time, the amount allocated for the construction of sports complexes in Mana, Polonnaruwa, Kalutara, Galle and Matra districts is 0.44 billion rupees. Minister Anura Karunatilaka said that special mention has to be given to the increased amount of funds allocated in the present budget for the provision of housing facilities and for special drinking water requirements as per the needs of past several events.
In more local news, the railway services along the Batticaloa-Colombo road resumed this morning after repairing the railway track close to the 141 milepost. Our correspondent stated that the wildlife officials have taken measures to remove the carcasses of the elephants that were killed by the train accident from the location. 6 elephants were killed and 2 more elephants were injured when a herd of wild elephants were knocked down by the train. With the accident, the train also derailed the railway services along the track that were temporarily suspended yesterday. The Railway Maintenance Division started renovating the railway track and derailed the train last evening itself. Accordingly, the railway services from Galloe to Batticaloa resumed this morning. A special discussion was held yesterday under the patronage of Minister of Transport Bimal Ratnayaka to prevent such accidents in the future. Officials of the Railway and Wildlife Department and the representatives of the environmental organizations as well participated in this discussion, which was held at the parliamentary complex. After lengthy discussions with the minister, a number of decisions were taken in this connection. Either side of the railway track near the area with wild elephants will be cleared. Utilization of new technological systems, direct participation of community-based teams are several decisions from this meeting. Headlights of the railway engines will be developed to direct light flashes to the sideways as well, and using white lights instead of yellow lights are some other decisions. The second stage of this meeting will be held at the same place where the incident occurred with the participation of all relevant parties. Suitable decisions will also be taken after this meeting. Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Maldives, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, expressed his astonishment of Sri Lanka coming up strongly as a country after facing economic crisis which occurred in Sri Lanka.
And he also emphasized that the Maldives is learning from the lessons of Sri Lanka in order to take that country out of the economic crisis. The Maldivian Foreign Minister made these observations attending a meeting with President Anura Dissanayake held yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat. During the meeting, Minister Khalil extended his congratulations to President Dissanayake and the newly elected government on their electoral victory. He also expressed his appreciation for the positive changes taking place in Sri Lanka following the elections. Minister Khalil commended Sri Lanka's resilience in overcoming economic challenges and stated that the Maldives is closely observing Sri Lanka's recovery efforts to draw valuable lessons for its own economic revival. He also extended an official invitation to President Dissanayake to visit the Maldives on an official state visit. President Dissanayake, in response, expressed his appreciation. Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Maldives, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya at the Parliament yesterday. Discussions focused on further strengthening the long-standing bilateral relations between the Maldives and Sri Lanka, emphasizing the historical ties and mutual interests that continue to underpin their diplomatic engagement. Minister Khalil commended Sri Lanka for its remarkable progress in economic recovery and expressed confidence in the country's resilience. Both leaders acknowledged the pivotal role of the tourism sector in the respective economies and explored potential avenues to enhance cooperation.
The Health Ministry has taken measures to implement a special project to enhance professional knowledge, talents and skills of the health professionals. Under this, the opening ceremony of the training project for doctors was recently held at the National Blood Transfusion Service Centre auditorium. The event has been organised under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. This has been organised by the Training Unit of the Education, Training and Research Unit of the Ministry of Health and Mass Media. Over 150 doctors who were attached to the government hospitals and health institutes in the Colombo district participated at this occasion.
Therefore, it is an honour and a privilege to provide leadership, momentous task benefiting the doctors of generations yet to come. Continuous professional development is the cornerstone of maintaining and improving the quality of healthcare. As the government of Sri Lanka has always prioritized healthcare, and we recognize the critical role that continuous education plays in enhancing the quality of our healthcare system. The medical profession is unique in its complexity and responsibility. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the Ministry of Health to empower its employees through opportunity to grow professionally and refine their practice. I strongly urge all professional colleges to join hands with us for this Herculean task, which is initiated by the Ministry of Health in anticipation of the future requirement for proof of continuous professional development for registration with the Sri Lanka Medical Council and empowering the workforce to deliver a quality service in advance.
And moving on to more news here at home, a meeting between the Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Naika, and Vietnamese Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Trinity Tam, took place today at the Presidential Secretariat. Discussions focused on strengthening diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and Vietnam. Additionally, both parties engaged in an in-depth conversation regarding ongoing and upcoming development projects in Sri Lanka with Vietnam's support. The Vietnamese ambassador expressed Vietnam's willingness to share its expertise in agriculture, tourism and investment promotion with Sri Lanka. Further discussions were held on effectively utilizing Vietnam's achievements for Sri Lanka's progress.
A suspect who has been arrested in Dubai following investigations regarding the on-max DT pyramid scam was ordered to be remanded until the 7th of this March. Now, the suspect is said to be a computer engineer. The Colombo Magistrates Court today ordered him to be remanded. He was arrested in Dubai and brought to Sri Lanka today, where he was presented before the Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali by the Criminal Investigation Department. CID officers informed the court that their investigations revealed that he was responsible for creating the website associated with the scam. Police further stated that he had acquired a significant amount of money through his involvement in the scheme. However, the attorney representing the accused claimed that his client did not personally benefit from the scheme. The attorney also explained that the suspect had not returned to Sri Lanka earlier due to threats to his life, but assured the court that the suspect was willing to cooperate with the ongoing investigations. However, considering the facts presented, the Chief Magistrate ordered the suspect to be remanded. Colombo Magistrate Court also imposed a travel ban today to another suspect who is related to an incident of the pyramid scam. The CID informs the court that the suspect has contributed to promoting a pyramid investment scam in Sri Lanka, which was originally generated in Malaysia.
And in the meantime, Department of Immigration and Immigration is open 24 hours to issue passports on one-day service. Controller General of the Department, Nilusha Balasurya, informs that relevant registrations only conducts from 6 a.m. on Monday until 12 noon of Friday. The Ministry of Public Defence and Parliamentary Affairs says that with this new 24-hour service, the people who visit the department and the officials who provide services are provided all other services, including security, transport and other facilities. According to the new system, the issue of passports is expected to be expedited.
And now we take a look at a few more local news items in brief. The wild elephant, which was rescued from the Maduroya ZD main canal, has later on entered the Dimbulagala Veheragama village. According to the Aralagangwila police, 2 persons of the same family have died when the elephant attacked them. The deceased were aged 74 and 80 years respectively. Evaluation of the damages incurred in the cultivated land in the Kaudulua project due to the recent floods have commenced. A group of officials from the Agrarian Insurance Board arrived at the farmlands for inspections, and a compensation of 100,000 rupees per hectare was to be given to the concerned farmers. According to our correspondent, more than 350 acres of land had come under the floods. A program to venerate the sacred relics of Lord Buddha recovered from the historic Nilagiri Chaitya will be held at Sri Kalyani Dharma Yogashrama Viharaya, Colombo 7 until the 24th of this month. The sacred relics have been taken in a procession today and are to be re-enshrined in the Ampara Nilagiri Chaitya on the 25th of this month. And we'll be right back after a short break with some foreign news items. Stay tuned.
දේශීය සම්මානෝත්සවයන්හි සම්මානිත ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ එකම හා ප්‍රමුඛතම පාපැදි සජීවීකරණ මෙහෙයුමේ නවතම දිගහැරුම ගුවන් හමුදා පාපැදි සවාරිය 2025 මෙවර පෙබරවාරි 28 වනදා සිට මාර්තු 2 වෙනිදා දක්වා අධියර 3කින් උදෑසන 7:30 සිට ක්‍රීඩාවේ ප්‍රමුඛයා ChannelEye වෙතින්.
Welcome back after the break and on to news away from home. Israel military is to carry out an intensive operation in the West Bank after the explosions on 3 buses close to Tel Aviv occurred yesterday. The explosions occurred in a vehicle parking terminal close to Tel Aviv. The Israel police had found 2 unexploded explosive devices, and according to Israel military sources, no casualties were reported. Israel media reports say that this attack has been carried out by a military group in the region. Thereby, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had instructed the military to carry out an intensive operation in the West Bank.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And moving on to sports news for tonight, India has been able to register a 6-wicket victory in the match against Bangladesh played under the ICC Champion Trophy one-day cricket tournament.
The match was played at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium yesterday. Bangladesh, after winning the toss, selected to bat first. Accordingly, they scored a total of 228 runs all out in 49.4 overs. Tawhid Hiridoy scored a century, while Jakir Ali scored 68 runs. In bowling, Mohammad Shami captured 5 wickets for 53 runs, while Harshit Rana was able to claim 3 wickets. Aksa Patel chipped in with 2 wickets. In reply, India scored 231 runs in 46.3 overs, thus registering a victory. Shubman Gill was not out on 101, while Captain Rohit Sharma scored 41 runs. KL Rahul was not out on 41. In bowling, Rishad Hussain of Bangladesh captured 2 wickets, while Taskin Ahmed and Mustafizur Rahman shared 1 wicket each.
That's clean. Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And that was a look at your news here at Developmental Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira together with Kesha Inali. Wish you a pleasant evening. Take care.